Where is the small basic? So today we are going to talk about this example which is given on page number 27, and with this the chapter will get over. Example number 13 you will have to do on your own. Example number 13. Okay, example number 12 I am going to do. I'm going to explain.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste beta.
Sir, I am Athar Sharma and I am present.
And you have to hold your horses. Okay, once I'm done with taking the class, I will mark you present after that. And so the program is like this. J is equals to 0. Then it is start. After that it is J is equal to J plus 1. बेटा मैंने कहा ना आपसे कि मेरी क्लास है अभी. आप क्यों फोन कर रहे हैं बार बार? अभी फोन नहीं आना चाहिए आपका. मेरी क्लास चल रही है. I will talk to you afterwards if I'll get the time. So J is equal to J plus 1, and after that it is text window dot right line J. Then it is if J is smaller than 10, then what should happen? Go to start, go to start, and if go to start, and then it is end if, and last one is text window dot right line welcome to the world of small basic. So this is the program which is given as an example, as example number 12 in your book on page number 127. Now we are required to find out the output of this program. How can we do that? So I'm going to make use of the notepad file, as you all know, for dry running this program and finding out the output of this. The first thing that we are required to do is we need to identify the names of the variables that have been used in this program, right? So there is only one variable that have been used in this program, and the name of that variable is J. Okay, so we need to write J here. Once you're done with identifying the names of the variables, you need to write them down here on the notepad or any other copy, and after that you need to make a separate column for this output part. Okay. Now what is happening here? When the compiler will come here on this first line, it is going to assign this J with this value 0. Okay, so now the value of J will be equal to 0. Once the compiler is done with executing this line, it is going to come on this second line. The way you guys are listening now, na, at present, the way you guys are listening, in the same way, if you will listen to me attentively, you will be able to understand these codes. Fine. So once the compiler is done with executing this first line of code, it is going to come on this second line. Now, what is Riddhi? Is there an issue? You're raising a hand here. Riddhi, is there any issue? Okay. So once the compiler is done with executing this line, when it will come on this line, what it is going to see? It is going to see a colon after this start. This colon is going to throw the compiler on the next line. Fine, that's what this colon do, right? That's what we studied in the previous lecture. So this colon is going to throw the compiler on this line. Now what is happening in this line? J is equal to j plus 1. What is the value of j at present? It is equal to 0. Now when the compiler will execute this line, it is going to add 1 to the value of j, that is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. And whatever result it will get, it will assign that number to this variable j again, because j is equal to j plus 1. So now the new value of j will be equal to 1, because j is equal to j plus 1. So the new value of j will be 1. Is this thing clear to every one of you? Up to this? Yes, Ayush? Is there any is there anything which is not clear to you, dear? Everyone has understood this thing, how this one has come over here? Why I have written this one over here? Okay, so now
Sir,
the new
this colon forces the compiler to come on the third line.
that is absolutely correct. It will throw the compiler on the next line. Okay, now the new value of j is equals to 1. So after executing this line, when the compiler will come on this line, what is happening here? Text window dot write line j. So whatever the value of j is, it is going to get printed on the text window. What is the value of j at present? It is now, after executing this line, the compiler will come on this line. What is happening here? We have got an if loop here on this fifth line. Inside this if loop, there is a condition which is saying j is smaller than 10. So what is the present? What is the value of j at present? It is equal to 1 right now. So this value is going to satisfy this condition. For this value of j, this condition is true. So what is going to happen? The part which is defined in between these two keywords, then और end if के बीच में जो part defined है, the compiler is going to execute that part. What is this part saying? Go to start पर वापस जाओ. Yeah, the line where this start is written, you have to go back on on that line. So the compiler is going to go back on this second line. Now here it is again going to see this colon. Now what this colon will do, it will throw the compiler back on this line number 3. What is happening here? The value of j is incrementing by 1. J is equal to j plus 1. At present, the value of j is 1. Now, when you will add 1 to this value of j, 1, what are you going to get? You will get 2, right? You will get 2. Now, when the compiler is done with executing this line, and after that, when it will come on this line, what will happen? It will print the value of j on the text window. So at present, the value of j is equal to 2. So it is going to print 2 on the text window like this. Why it is printing 2 in the next line? Just because here we have made use of write line. We haven't made use of write. I have told you guys the difference between write and write line. Na? Write line is used for printing something and then shifting the compiler to the next. It shifts the compiler to the next line. Okay, and so that is the reason we will get the output in different lines. Now, after executing this line, when the compiler will come on this line, it will again check this condition. What is the value of j at present? It is equal to 2. Now, for this value of 2, This condition is absolutely correct because 2 is smaller than 10. Na? This condition is correct. So the compiler will execute this part which we have defined in between then and end if keyword. Go to start. So the compiler is going to go back on this line number 2. This colon will again throw this compiler on this line number 3. What will happen here? J is equal to j plus 1. So the value of j is going to get incremented by 1, and this is what you will get as an output now. फिर 4 हो जाएगी, ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको 4 मिल जाएगा, फिर 5 हो जाएगी, यहाँ पे आपको 5 मिल जाएगा, फिर 6 हो जाएगी, फिर यहाँ पे आपको 6 मिल जाएगा.
Show by running the program.
I will do that also, dear, but first of all we have to find the output ourselves. You know, a question like this also may come in your exam, that you will be given, you know, in which you will be given some lines of codes, and you will be asked to find out the output of that particular program. That is the reason I am showing it to you like this. Okay, so this is how you have to write down the output. Now when the value will become equal to 9, okay, the compiler is going to check this condition. Now 9 is smaller than 10, so it is going to go back on this start button, sorry, on this line number 2. Now the value of j is again going to get incremented by 1, and finally it will become 10. Now 10 is going to get printed on the text window. When the compiler now will come on this line for this value of j, that is 10, this condition is not true. Am I right, Kanishk? For this value of j is equal to 10. Right now j is equal to 10. So this condition is not true because 10 is not smaller than 10 na? j की value भी 10 है. 10 10 से छोटा तो नहीं है. So this condition is not true. Because this condition is not true, so the compiler is going to get out of this if loop finally. वो if loop से बाहर निकल आएगा. ठीक है. Now what is happening here? Text window.writeLine, welcome to the world of small basic. So finally you will get this thing also as an output on the text window. So this is the whole thing which you are going to get as an output. Now let's see whether our output is correct or not. The one which we have.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Kanish.
Sir, why now this go to means go to start function will not work. Means again colon will not push it.
No, Kanish, the thing is better. At present, the value of j is equal to 10. Okay. Now for this value of j, this condition is not true, na? The one which we have defined inside this if loop. What is the condition? It is saying j is smaller than 10. लेकिन j की वैल्यू 10 है. 10 से छोटा थोड़ी ना हो सकता है. 10 is equal to 10 ना. So that is the reason this part is not going to get executed now. Compiler if loop को छोड़ के बाहर निकल आएगा. ठीक है, ये डायरेक्टली एंड इफ पर पहुंचेगा और उसके बाद ये 8th लाइन पे आ जाएगा. This is what I am saying to you guys. You can try and understand this thing. If suppose the condition is not true, whatever condition you have defined inside the if loop, na, if it is not true, then the compiler doesn't execute the part which is present in between these two keywords, then and end if. What the compiler is going to do, it is going to come on this line, 7th line, जहां पे end if लिखा है, and finally it will come on this 8th line, और फिर दोबारा से वो वापस नहीं जाएगा. Okay, now let's see whether the output that we have, calculated here on this notepad, is it correct or not. Let's run this program and check out the output. So is the output correct or not? Whatever we have, written on that notepad. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
So is this thing
Yes,
clear
sir.
to every one of you? How can we find out the output